Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Stream of Car Consciousness, a very special Christmas edition of the show. I'm fired up, and as always, I'm joined by my friend, my brother up in the Panhandle, Greg Smith. How you doing today, Greg?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling a little bit I don't know. I've got the Christmas spirit, man. You did it up. So I feel kind of
Yeah, there we
inadequate right
go. We
now.
got the backdrop. We got it all going on. I got my crazy shirt. I got my Bills Mafia hat. I'm ready. It's Christmas, and what
Absolutely.
else is there? Joy to the world.
Well, Merry Christmas to you. You guys are on a roll. So we'll see how it goes. But I told you yesterday, I think Bills are going to go to the Super Bowl. So we'll see. Y'all haven't been since the 4 in a row debacle, have you?
No, not since then. No, the
Yeah.
debacle.
I
Been
think this
30
is,
years, 30 years since we've been.
well,
And
shoot, it's been 41 now since Miami's been, and I don't even want to get into that. But I think this is your year, and I think you guys might actually win it because it's wide open, man. And the AFC does not look particularly strong. So,
no. And the
um,
Bills play their best football against the best teams. So like we were just up
right.
in Cleveland and it wasn't that great, but they won the game. But again, they for whatever reason, since McDermott's been the coach, they struggle mightily against bad teams and they show up against the good teams. Yes, they've lost some crazy heartbreaking games to the Chiefs, but they've showed up and they played well and they played hard and generally they beat the good teams. And without Kansas City being in the mix this year, I think this could be the year.
Well, it's time to take care of business. So, wish
Yeah.
them luck.
And that kind of
So,
on the question, we took some questions on the page this week. We can answer one of them right now. Thomas Samuel was asking about the Bills and the Dolphins. So do you have any thoughts on the Dolphins with Tua getting benched and what's going on down there?
I don't know. I'm oh, this could be an hour long show. I think it was time. I've watched it. I mean, I watch every game like you do, and I watch every play like you do, and he's just looked terrible. He's looks like he's aged 5 years this year, and I think it's time to move on. I cannot believe still, and I was saying it at the time that they gave him the contract they did. You could have fifth year optioned him. You could have franchise tagged him for 2 years. Prove it to it, and they just went ahead and shoved money at him, and now. I mean, the way it's looking right now, if some of the rumors I'm hearing are true about them just getting rid of him, I mean, that's going to set us back 2 or 3 years. So
Yeah. Well, that's what the
yours,
Bills
yours,
did with Stephon Diggs. They had to eat about $25 million. So
yeah.
that
And
and it does hurt, even though the Bills have been good. We're still playing. We don't have the depth because we just don't have the salary cap money. So I mean, it
right.
impacted Buffalo, even though we're still winning.
Well,
Having to eat that.
Denver's a good case study because they did the same thing with Russell
Mhm.
Wilson, but they got lucky, and their
Yeah, they
deep,
did.
they got lucky with Bo Nix has been as good as he's been, and I'm hoping they say that Ewers is going to start the next 2 games against the Bucks and the Patriots. I'm hoping he can show something. He did show some signs Sunday about just he didn't look completely overwhelmed and made some decent throws. He made some dumb throws, but being on the practice squad all year, with the exception of one game, he's the scout quarterback. So
Yeah.
he's being thrown to the wolves, and I think for the circumstances, he acquitted himself decently. I'll say that. So there may be something to work with there. I just think Tua's time, just for a number of reasons, physically, mentally, the way he's viewed in Miami, his his just the whole taint of Tua right now is just not good, and I think it's maybe time to part ways with him.
All
And
right. And I'll be
eat
up
whatever
in
you have to eat cap wise.
Buffalo this weekend, so I'm excited to see the Bills and Eagles tee it up at 4:30. Looking like
Right,
some
right.
snow, maybe. So I hope there's some snow.
Yeah. So you're going? Are you going to the Philadelphia game, and are you going
Mhm.
to the one after that? Who do they play
Yeah.
after that?
Yeah. So we're
Okay.
good. We're locked in. We're ready to go.
Nice. Nice. How
It's
about
that time
playoffs?
of
You
year,
guys got
man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoever they are in the playoffs, we'll be there. So,
nice.
hoping
That's great.
looking like it might be Jacksonville. That would be really great.
Yeah.
So then,
Yeah.
you want to get into our sting operation yesterday before we close out the show with some fun and Christmas frivolity?
Yeah, yeah. Let me ask you one more question. So, if they do play Jacksonville, is it going to be there in Jacksonville? That'd
Yeah,
be
it'd be in Jacksonville because it'd be a
that's
wild
cool.
card. So
Well, see if you can get reservations to the pool. You
Yeah,
ever
in the
watch a
pool. Yeah,
football
no.
game in a pool?
It'll
I have. It's
be, I
great.
tell you, when we played down there in, what was that, 2018? Oh my God, man. It was like 50, 60,000 Bills fans. It was insane. And
Yeah,
we lost the
yeah.
game, but it was really, really something to see because we hadn't made the playoffs in 18 years. And I remember standing up in the stadium there in Jacksonville, watching the parking lots flow in, empty out. And all week long, all you heard was Bills Mafia. And this was like the rise of Bills Mafia. And we're taking that over. I almost swore on Christmas. We're taking that place over. We're taking that place over, Duval. We're coming. We're coming, Duval. And so, I like to listen to the other teams' radio shows and stuff and podcasts. I'm like, nah, no way, Duval, Duval, yeah, the Bills, F Bills Mafia. Dude, we took that place over, man. And I remember standing up there watching. I go to my wife, and I start crying. It was beautiful. It was just, it still chokes me up to see that, because it was just a sea of red, white, and blue, and just as far as you could see. And it was friggin' unbelievable. It was one of the best days of my life, even though we lost. My kids were there and we smashed tables and we did the whole thing and we took the stadium over. We lost the game, but it was just a wonderful day to see, a fan base just go on the road and just take it over.
Yeah, you guys do travel well. I'll give you that. But
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens, and we can get into the next part of what we're going to do here. But you and I have talked extensively about this over the years. I'm not a Bills hater.
No.
I don't like New England and I don't like the Jets, but the Bills. And maybe it's a soft spot after four in a row for you guys. Just I would like to see you guys get one. I think a lot of people will be happy with that. So anyway, go Bills. And yeah, let's get into why don't you go ahead and let us know what
All right.
happened yesterday, and
Yeah,
I'll,
this is
and I'll chime
crazy.
in.
So one of the reasons, and I apologize, we haven't been on much is because of me. I was really, really sick. I could hardly talk. I had some personal things. Some of you may have read between the lines of the last episode that we did have that, my mother passed away. And I was sick and I'm trying to finish up. I did finish my principal internship and all that, so I'm done. So you can call me Principal Ford now. So all this stuff was going on. That's why I've been scarce. So I'm looking through my cards. I'm thinking, throw a little sale together. And I'm like, I bought some cards that, might fit in here. There's like, I don't even remember. I do remember there was like four Jack Lamberts. I got them for like $1, and the whole thing was like 14 bucks. Not a big thing. So I look back in my messages and I paid, but I never got tracking. I don't even really recall what the whole thing was or how they were coming, but then I look at the payment details and it's like four four different people I could have paid. Like four different, and one for PayPal, one for Venmo, one for this, one for that. So I paid Venmo to this one person, but it wasn't the person I got the cards from. All right. Didn't really think nothing of it at the time. A lot going on. A month later, no, I'm more dialed in. So I send the dude a message. I said, hey, by chance, did you ever send these cards out, or what exactly were they? I mean, generally, we have sales. I send you an accounting of what you got. You got two of this, one of that, three of that. Take a picture. Here's the total. Thank you very much. I
Sure.
didn't get any of that. So then the guy's like, well, you're going to have to ask this Jim Duran guy. And I'm like, who the hell is that? I bought the cards from you. Well, he's the one that took the payment. And then I'm like, well, okay, so you might want to be getting a hold of Jim Duran, or maybe even better yet, yourself, because I bought the cards from you. Maybe you should, send me my money. It's only 14 bucks, really don't care. So I sent him, I advise you right now to give me my money. And then he says, well, you're going to have to talk to this Riley DeRochers. I'm like, who in the hell is Riley DeRochers? I'm like, what's going on, bro? I said, so I got the cards from you. Now you want me to talk to Jim Duran, Raleigh DeRoasters. And he's like, well, the sale is for Duck's Dugout. I'm like, what is going on?
Who the
$14
hell is
in
Duck
cards, which I
Dugout?
could care less about. Look, if I had them in my hand right now, we burn them and have some fun. We do a little
Right.
nativity or something. Because whatever, who cares? I don't. But I'm like, so what is happening? So then I'll pass it to you.
Yeah. So you reached out simply for, venting purposes, I believe, because you and I both know between both of us, $14 isn't gonna end the world for either one of us. So it's not the $14, but I started digging a little. I'm like, that's really as a seller, you and I both really go out of our way to not give bad customer service. So I reached out to the guy. Aaron Shui is his name. I'll say it. I don't
All
care.
right. Audi.
Um, yeah, Aaron Schway's his name, and he's over the time that I've seen him in the groups, he's done decent business until he started getting involved with Ducks Dugout and Jim Duran and Riley Dos Rogers, whoever that is. So I reach out to Aaron and I say, "Hey man, you know, um, did you ever get tracking for Mark Ford? It's over a month ago. He never got tracking or the cards." He's like, "Well, you know, I advised him to go ahead and contact so and so and so and so." And I'm like, "So you're telling me that you sold these cards, you didn't have possession of them, and after the sale was done and completed, you just didn't follow up at all?" And yeah, so so it ended up being a minor racket. I don't want to use the word racketeering, but it was not how you're supposed to run sales. So I just basically told Aaron and we there was a complete evisceration of the cartel yesterday.
The
Um,
cartel. I love it. Yep.
yeah,
It was
yeah, it
horrible.
was something else, man. I don't even know really what else to say about it other than you can't run your business like that if you don't have the cards. I do some consigning for people. I sell cards for some people, and I couldn't imagine taking a stack of cards, taking pictures of them, leaving them there, and then using the pictures and my name to sell them, and then saying, "Hey, Jim, these cards sold. You need to ship them out." His reputation is solely on the line there, and his reputation was tarnished,
Mhm.
for lack of a better way to put it. So he asked me to get back. I removed him.
All
I
right.
talked
And
with
I
him.
gave them the opportunity, and that's the thing, penny wise, pound foolish people, because their whole, I mean, I knew they were up to shenanigans and there was something crazy going on, but for 14 bucks, and I would have been like, all right, there's something really crazy going on. And that's the thing, people don't be, let's say, penny wise, pound foolish. And I even told him, I said, "Do you know like who we are? Do you know who I am? Like, and I'm not like, I'm not like Dr. James Beckett or, I'm not, one of the, no, but we have a pretty good following. And, it's like, do you know what we do? So do you really want to go down this road?" And it didn't move the kid, didn't phase him. So, all right.
Well, yeah, his response was lackluster at best. And when after I told him he had been removed from the group, he just wanted to go on and on about, well, what do I need to do to get back in? And please, it's the holidays and blah blah blah. And I'm
Well,
like,
come
man,
on the show and explain yourself, young man. How about we do that?
right? Yeah,
That's
I
a
mean
good
that
idea.
I don't know if that would help get him back in the group, but it could make him,
All right. If
might
he
make him
needs
look a
to
little better.
absolution and he wants to come to Jesus, then we'll have him on the show.
Right. He his but it was striking to me that his whole demeanor, never once did he say, man, I really screwed this up.
Mm-mm.
He
No,
was like,
no, that kid, probably
yeah,
a trust fund kid driving around a mommy or daddy's Camaro or Mercedes or some shit.
right.
So he just got some schooling at the hands of the principal and the guest professor. So,
Right, exactly.
you know what I'm
So,
saying?
I don't know, just don't run your sales that way. If you're going to sell cards for other people, take them with you and take pictures and keep them at your
Right.
house.
Okay.
So yeah, it was something else, man. It was quite the scandal. I told you it was the scandal of 2025 really so
Well,
far.
it was, yeah, scandalous. So, well, all
All
right. Well,
right,
that's
so
enough of that. Enough negativity. It wasn't even
right.
negative. It was actually kind of interesting, and I'm glad I was a part of it because that's how those things start. And that's background in Homeland Security and all that. People start small, so they're starting small. So who knows? You know what? Their little gateway baseball card at park could have ended up being something else. Could have been heroin. Could have been this human trafficking. You never know.
Right.
So I'm glad that we snuffed it out, saved some lives, prevented some human trafficking and drug dealing too in the process, because that's where they're going to head. So,
One final note on this, in the course of messaging with him, I said, he was talking and he messaged me back and said, "Yeah, I talked about this with my dad, and he thinks you're right."
yeah, dad knows we're right because dad probably slapped
Right.
him in the head. So, what are you, stupid? So,
I thought that was kind of funny and ironic. I'm like,
give
well,
the
this
guys
kid,
14 bucks and this would have happened, you dope.
right,
So,
right, yeah, like you said last night, if only they'd fixed their taillight,
yeah,
they
right.
wouldn't have
That's how
gotten
serial
pulled
killer. He's
over.
like freaking, yeah, that's how they get caught. It's serial killers. You got a body in the trunk, so you don't fix your stupid tail light. That's what the kid was
Right.
doing. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
ridiculous.
So, All right. Well, you got some things you want to get
Yeah, but
to
now we're on to the fun
in the
stuff. But we
Christmas
had to talk
spirit. Let's
about that.
go.
It was interesting, and I know y'all like cardboard, some of the cardboard drama that goes on, and I've been scared. So yeah, on our page we had a giveaway for Christmas, and I put up a few things, and there's my dog Scarlett taking part in the show. God bless, she's fired up for Christmas. So everybody's gonna get something. Everybody that comments is gonna get something, and because that's what this is all about. That's what our show is about. It's what our page is about. It's about the interaction of people. Cardboard's great and all that, but it's the people. And I can honestly say that a great number of people on our page have been a great help to me over the last few years. And, I'm extremely grateful. Breck Allman, he got a care package this week. I love Brother Breck. And honestly, like I love him like a brother. And, strictly because of what we do here, then, meeting each other. Chris Frank's another one. I could go on and on and on. So, that's what this is all about, not about how much things cost, how much it's worth, and all that stuff. So, anyways, I'm going to lead off with I had a bunch of Kiss cards. So, I got 150 Kiss cards, and it was a disaster on eBay. And 100
Yeah.
of them
Let's hear
were
that.
wadded up garbage, like the worst cards you want to see in your life, taped up, creased up. And I was so excited because there was a number of Series 2 cards in there, which are rare as hell. I didn't realize how rare they were. I got no
Yeah,
sense.
you gave them away for 2 weeks, and now you realize how rare they are,
Yeah, I gave them
huh?
away. I should have got 5x what I sold them for. I sold them for $1. I could have got 5 or 6, but whatever. Who
I
cares?
understand.
I don't
I
give a
get it,
crap.
but
Next
still,
time you know what? If they're five, I'll sell them for two. So that's what I do. So, anyways, Bernard Shepard, Semper Fi, you devil dog. Thank you for serving America. American hero, Marine, and once a Marine, always a Marine. I love Bernard Shepard, and he's gonna get the Kiss cards. I salvaged the best ones I could out of it, and there's 5 or 6 Kiss cards for Bernard Shepard. And again, God bless America. Thank you so much for serving America. I love you, Bernie. You're the man. Okay.
absolutely.
So Bernard Shepard gets the kiss cards. This next one, again, I'm trying to get emotional because I go through it. I've been through it. I think about my pets and my furry animals and my part of my family. I've lost Chad Newland. I saw that they lost their dog right at Christmas. That's terrible. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine. Chad was in there commenting on the kiss cards. And I know he's a big Kiss fan. He's always in there on the sales. I got a Series 2 Ace Frehley for you, brother. Got a little wonky corner, but look at that thing. Is that not beautiful? So that's for you, Chad. I know that don't bring, but I feel horrible. I love you, man. Sorry about your dog, and you're gonna get this Ace Frehley. Okay.
Now I don't know the first thing about Kiss cards, but that seems like a pretty sweet one.
That is just a beauty. That's Series 2. So the Series 2
Nice.
cards are a little different. These ones are Series 1. Series 2 cards are definitely, you get your hands on them, they're way better. They're just
Okay.
way better. And this has a little crease through it, but that thing, that pops. That is freaking amazing. So that's for Chad. God bless, brother. All right, also in there was our friend, our brother, Kelly Reed, straight out of Texas. He got his show. Hold on, I lost our backdrop. Doing it ourselves here. So Kelly, we appreciate him. He's had us on the show a few times. Out there fighting the fight. I know he's a huge Star Wars fan, so I have this Chrome Darth Vader for Kelly Reed.
That's nice. That's
I know
pretty
he's a
cool.
huge, yeah. So that's a Chrome Vader, and it does stuff, and that's for Kelly Reed.
It does stuff. I love it.
Yeah, it does shit. All right, so then this is the one of the day. This is Topps Black Gold Willie Mays, 74 out of 299, just for Rick
What?
Leal.
For
Rick
who?
Rick commented, hey, I put it just like in my sales. I put in an
I
Easter egg.
commented, man. I'm just
Huh?
kidding.
I put in an Easter egg. Rick said, I want the Mays. He was the only one that commented. So Rick, you get the Willie Mays. That's about a $20 card.
Heck
So,
yeah.
all
I
right.
had a Jackie Robinson somewhere that I
You
was
showed
supposed
me,
to
yeah.
send.
Same type of
Yeah, and
thing,
I don't.
numbered.
I have no idea what happened to it.
So I have a Hank, Aaron, a couple of them, but I'm just not a Willie Mays guy, and I'm trying to make room. So Rick, God bless, love you, man. And this is my friend, my brother Joe Young, Moy Joe Young up in Boston. I worked with him down here in Florida when we moved here. I love Joe. He's a diehard Bills fan, and boy, we have some stories to tell. So if you ever
I
want to hear
bet.
some crazy shit, get me and Joe Young together. I love you, Joe. You get the Jack Kemp 4-1. proper Bills fan up there in Boston. So, Joe
Nice.
Young, you
Who
get
who else
that.
is on that? Who else is on the 4-1? I love those, man.
George Blanda, Bob Talamini, and Jim Whalen. So the
Nice.
two
That's a good
heavies
one.
are Jack Kemp and George Blanda. So that's for Joe. Um, and then nobody wanted the Vlad Guerrero uh rookie card. So I don't know. We'll figure something out with Vlad Guerrero.
That's got Andrew Jones on it too,
Andrew
man.
Jones and Vlad Guerrero, James Crawford. You win that. There you go. Andrew
Nice.
Jones, Braves fan. Just made that on the cuff. No, so James Crawford, let me write that down because I'm gonna shout everybody else. So James Crawford, you get the Andrew Jones, Vlad Guerrero rookie card.
That's a quite a rookie card. That's potentially got
Yeah, I think
someday
Jones is
two
going to
Hall
make
of
the Hall of
Famers
Fame
on
this
there.
year. He's going to get in this year. So that's
Yeah,
going to
I think you're
two
right.
Hall of Famers on it. So that's for James Crawford. Love you, James. And if I'm my brother, I'll see you this weekend up at Buffalo. Kirk Lorkowski, go Bills. Hell yeah, man. Hulk
Whoa.
Hogan.
Andre the
That's
Giant Hulk.
right. Off the cuff. He knew about this, but I'm doing this on the show. He knew it was coming to him. I got this a while ago, but that's for you, Kirk. That's the Hulkster, Hulkamania. And he loves Hulk Hogan, RIP Hulk Hogan. So that's for Kirk Lorkowski. I'll see you this weekend at Buffalo, brother, and we're going to kick the snot out of the Eagles. So that's for you.
Now that is that a
Hulkamania.
funky Funko
That's a
Pop or what are those called?
Funko. Look at little
All right.
Hulk, little baby
Heck
Hulk.
yeah.
Look at
Those are
him.
cool.
Hell yeah. And that is the end of the Mighty Christmas giveaway. I actually do have everybody's addresses that won because they've all bought things or got things from me in the past. So I will circle around. This will not, I'm going to get this out next week. Full disclosure, Christmas, I'm busy, family stuff.
Right.
But next week, y'all know if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So I'm going to be sending these out to you all next week. And thank you again, everybody. Kelly Reed, Chad Newland, Bernard Shepard, my brother Kirk Lorkowski, Joe Young, Rick Leal, and James Crawford. So thank you so much. And then that
Now I
leads
got to
into, go
do
ahead.
what now?
Uh, Andrew Cravata asks what our favorite Christmas memory is.
Yeah, we had a couple of questions, so we'll get into those real quick.
Yep.
So you go ahead with your Christmas memories first.
As a child, not too many great Christmas memories. I'll leave it at
Yeah.
that. But uh, a couple years ago, we went up to the North Carolina mountains and we had a cabin, and it was amazing. And everybody was there, and my daughters, and obviously my wife, and we stayed. And we had the dogs, we had everything. It was just an amazing, there was a little snow in the air, and it was an amazing time. We were all together, and we were just enjoying hanging out. And I think so much with Christmas or any holidays or event, people try, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do this. And as you get older, I'm just content sitting in the fringes watching the kids and watching the family, and I'm reading a book or like right here, I got this is my wife, I call her Spuds, Dr. Ford. I got my coffee in my Spuds mug and I'm happy, So it was nice to do that. And there's a shit ton of gifts and all that too, but no, that wasn't it. It was just being together and hanging out. So that was probably my favorite Christmas memory. It was a couple years ago going up to the mountains in North Carolina.
Yeah, mine, you know, I hesitate to say this because of your experience as a youth, but my mom always went out of the way. She's a single mom, and she always went out of her way to make Christmas really cool. So they kind of all blur together, honestly. I mean,
Right.
there was nothing earth shattering about any of them that would be that would stand out above and beyond maybe Christmas of 1989, where I'm in Orlando, and we've got snow flurries on Christmas Day in Orlando, Florida. 24 degrees, just it being that cold with the snow and all the just the way that she always made Christmas was amazing. So shout out to you, Mom. I enjoyed
Awesome.
Christmas growing up.
Absolutely.
It was really
Especially the
nice.
single mom.
Probably my last Christmas with my grandmother. My I got a funny story to tell real quick about my grandma. So my grandma and her second husband Clyde would come up for Christmas every year, and they lived down over by Bradenton. They'd come over to Orlando, and we'd open all the presents and whatnot. And my grandma every afternoon about 3 o'clock, 3-4 o'clock, hours after the presents were done, would come and slip me $100 bill in my hand.
What did you
And she'd
tell
just be like,
grandma?
just don't tell Clyde, because Clyde was a tight ass. So
Hmm.
she's like, don't tell Clyde, and it was the same thing every year. Like, Nana, trust me, I'm not going to tell Clyde anything. because $100 in the 1980s and 90s was a lot of money. For somebody who didn't have a job, it was great. So that was always a nice memory from my grandma. And just
Yeah.
my last Christmas with her was 1997, and I think she gave me the $100 bill. I was 27 years old. She still gave me $100 bills,
Yeah. So grandmas
and
too. From my
yeah,
childhood perspective, my grandma was awesome too. And because
right,
that was
right,
like my Christmas was with my grandma because we didn't really have it in my family. And
yeah,
we'd go there for breakfast and everything. And it was lovely. My grandma
absolutely,
was amazing. It's my Uncle
absolutely,
Dave. My Uncle Dave would be what is called exceptional nowadays, but back then the terminology wasn't so nice. And he loved me. He
right,
loved us. I wasn't his nephew. I was his brother. So my brother.
yeah, yeah. That's
So this is my
and I'm
brother.
like
He called
you,
me Big Shot. I was never
big
Mark.
shot.
This is
That's
my
funny,
little brother, Big Shot. And when you lose people that think you're perfect, I've said this a bunch of times when I speak. I do a lot of speaking. When you lose people that think you're perfect, they're especially irreplaceable because we all have
right?
faults. So when the people that think you are perfect are gone, they are not replaced ever.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'm with you now. Nowadays with Christmas, it's just about the experience,
Mhm.
really. People ask, I have people ask what I want for Christmas. I'm like, I don't want anything really. I mean,
All
I
about
want
the
everybody.
experience, right? All about
Yeah,
the experience. There's my shirt.
there you go.
You know,
There
I,
you go. All
I can
about the
still
experience.
I still cut a tree. How hard it is to find this stuff. You cut Christmas tree in Florida that's worth a shit, but we managed to do it.
Absolutely.
I will cut a tree with my kids, or if maybe once they're not around or they can't do it because they moved or something, out of
Yeah.
the area. I will always cut a tree.
Well, that's great, man. That's great. That's a good memory. Hey, not so we did have Rick ask about, do you
Mhm.
want to even get into PSA grading
Yeah, we
at
did
this
real
point,
brief.
or
I mean, he was asking my opinion on it. I think it's all subjective. It's a scam. I like graded cards only because I like them in their permanent coffin and they're not going to be damaged. And, they kind of look cool when you display and all that. As far as value on it, I really doesn't matter to me. So I do have a lot of graded cards just because I want them to be preserved. As far as value, I think it's all subjective. I have cards from 10 different grading companies, and some of them are graded like sixes or sevens. You're like, how come that's not a two? Then some of them that are graded twos. You're like, why is that not a six or seven? As far as an alternative to the Giants, yes, I do think PSA has a monopoly now, especially since they bought SGC. One alternative company I like, and I like their slabs, and I think their grading is very good. But if you do want value, don't do it because you're not going to get the golden. I think golden is great. I think golden
yeah,
they're great. I think that their slab is good. I think their grades are good, and I think it's only like $8 a card, so you can't beat it.
yeah, it's not very expensive, and I kind of echo what you think. I've never sent a single card off to be graded, and I don't know that I ever will, but I've got plenty of slabs.
Yeah,
PSA also bought Beckett. I don't know if you heard that
yeah,
recently. They
yeah.
bought Beckett, so I don't know if that's even going to fly with Congress. There's already been some rumblings about,
Antitrust, yeah, definitely
yeah,
involved in all
antitrust.
that stuff.
But it kicked me right in the nads when they bought SGC,
Right.
because Kari Strimsky's my guy, and I like SGC. Yes,
I love
but
SBC slabs. They're great.
yeah,
I think PSA slabs suck. They're just you
yeah, I
know
got that too. I have to show.
right.
That's my card of the
That's
week.
awesome. Card of the week.
Yeah,
It's not,
yep.
but they're not even
So,
comparable. So I mean, if SGC is
right.
going to stay in business and the price is reasonable, then I'll buy SGC. I'll send cards to SGC. But
Me
if
too. Me
not,
too. I just think there's a lot of subjectivity, like you said, and for PSA to really be the only big dog in town now, I don't think that's good for the hobby. I think that they need to step in and do something about that. So we'll see. Tag grading is good. They seem to be picking up some
mhm.
traction. CGC, a couple of the other ones. So
I got one right here. Tag. I think.
you
Speaking
got a
of,
tag.
yeah, I got one right here.
They're the ones
Dutch
that use
Allen. Those are
AI, I
pretty
think.
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But look at that slab's pretty neat. It's all clear and everything.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
kind of
See,
like
so I
the
mean that.
Beckett, but the Beckett slabs are like gigantic. So yeah, tag grading. There's a tag. It's a
And that's
job.
a clear slab too. That looks
Big
pretty
slab,
cool.
yeah. That's cool as hell. So I like
Nice.
that. Yeah, tag. Tag's good. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
You mentioned that. I got one right there.
Yeah, I think that it's not going down the right road, but unless somebody steps in, that's the world we live in with graded cards right now. So we'll
Yeah,
see how it goes, but I don't know. Too much subjectivity. They need to find a way to make it where the criteria is the same and there's not pop control and all that. I mean, we can talk about this also for another hour.
sure.
So,
So then I do
just
have one card of the week, and then we can get
okay.
out of here. And that is this was a great Christmas present a couple years ago from my daughter Shasta. It's the Billy Ripken F Face card. And why I mention that today on Christmas is because the movie 8-Bit on HBO Max, it revolves around the kids wanting Nintendo back in the day. And this was all the rage, this card. So the kid, they have swapped the F-Face card for this, for that. And so this card actually features prominently in that movie. So it's actually a great movie. So if you have HBO Max, watch 8-Bit.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna watch it. And Stranger Things comes on tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. Um,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna go spend the rest of the day getting ready for the holiday and spending time with
Yeah, I
family. And
appreciate you taking the time to do this with me today, Greg. I know we're all busy,
absolutely.
and I thank my family for allowing me the time to do this today. But I just wanted to get those things out to the people that have supported us, supported me, and they've helped me through some tough times this year because it's been a tough year. So I'm
Well,
grateful. I'm grateful to the community, and much love to everybody. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful Christmas and New Year.
yeah, same with me. I hope everybody has a great one. And Mark, you and I've talked a little bit about some things that are going on. And it seems like, just keep plowing ahead, man. Brighter days are coming.
Yes, they are. All right,
Absolutely.
everybody. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us, and everybody take care.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you.